Hello, everyone. Welcome to Community Connections. Thank you for joining us today. It is our July Community Connections. We're so happy to have you join us. My name is Jeremy Capone. I'm your Community Connections Program Coordinator, and we have a really exciting segment for you today. We're going to be joined by two incredible people working in the AYA cancer community. And we have some presentations from them, and then we'll follow that with our cooking and nutrition demonstration at 12 o'clock, so you can stay tuned for that segment as well. So we're going to jump right into it. We're going to get started, and to kick things off, we're going to be joined by Marlie Smith, who is the clinical nurse specialist with the Adolescent and Young Adult program at the Princess Margaret Cancer Centre. Marlie completed her Master's of Nursing from the University of Toronto, and prior to that, she completed 2 undergraduate programs at Queen's University in biology and nursing, before beginning her nursing career at Sick Kids in the Hematological Oncology Department. Marlie is passionate about empowering young patients to be actively involved in their care and helping them maintain normalcy as best as possible while on treatment. Outside of work, Marlie enjoys backcountry camping, going for bike rides, and spending time with family and friends. Marlie is joining us today to talk a little bit more about the AYA at Princess Margaret's program and some of the amazing resources that they offer. So without further ado, Marlie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be working with ELLICSR for the community program outreach. I'm really just here today to tell you a little bit about our program and the type of services that I'm able to offer patients with a cancer or blood disorder diagnosis, and to just highlight some different things that are happening in our program, whether it being different events that are upcoming or research that we have ongoing. So I'll start off by outlining what it is that we do within the AYA program. So really, we're a multidisciplinary team that is comprised of myself, a couple of physicians, social workers, kinesiologists, researchers, a whole team that is really interested in supporting young patients between the age of 18 and 39 with a cancer or blood disorder diagnosis. And the reason that we're here really is because we understand that the way that cancer and a blood disorder diagnosis impacts life at this stage of life is very, very unique. And there's lots of special needs that pertain to this population at this stage that need extra time and attention to help manage. So that's really why we're here. I am an oncology nurse by background, so I always encourage patients to reach out to me if they have questions about their symptoms or treatment or just talking things out. But really how I work best is alongside the treating team. We call ourselves a consult service because we really just work in consultation with the primary team to look at you as a whole person to make sure that you're feeling well supported during treatment and beyond. I actually see most of my patients when they are first diagnosed or at some point when they're receiving active treatment, but I do have a large chunk of patients who I see in the survivorship phase, so the post-treatment phase, when they're trying to navigate different concerns surrounding reintegrating into the workspace, having body image concerns that are long-standing, or have questions about their fertility and how to start growing their family. So really, I'm here to support patients at all stages of their disease trajectory in whatever way is most helpful. If you feel that this program would really benefit you and you haven't been in touch with the AYA program, there's a couple of different ways that we can get involved in your care. Number one is by requesting a referral from your primary healthcare team, so your oncologist or your nurse, or you can self-refer to my program via email, and you can email aya@uhn.ca, and we'll provide that information to you. Simply, you can send an email to say your name and that you're interested in speaking with me for our initial consultation, and we'll go from there. Our initial consultation is about an hour in length, so I talk about all of the different areas in life really related to disclosing your diagnosis to friends, family, or if you have young children, how to safely exercise on treatment, what types of food you should be eating on treatment, and of course, we send resources such as ELLICSR to patients a lot of the time, how to address different body image concerns and sexual health concerns. Really anything life related that pops up is what I help manage. So again, if you feel that that would be of interest to you, please reach out anytime. I'd be happy to help support you. Now, I'd love to talk about some of the exciting things that we have going on in our program. So number one is our monthly meetups. Once a month, we have an opportunity for a virtual meetup through Microsoft Teams, where we have about 5 to 15 patients attend each month. And some patients actually attend every month, which is really nice to see that community start to build nice and strong. And really, it's an opportunity to just connect with other AYAs, adolescent young adults, who understand really what you're going through. It's a great opportunity to bring any questions that you might have, or simply just listen in passively, camera off, alias name, anything that allows for your increased comfort, for you to just connect and feel that sense of support. Because we know that the amount of young patients at the hospitals that you're being treated at is quite small and can feel quite isolating in that regard. So we like to bring you together to really just feel that sense of support. Actually, in August, we are planning our first in-person event tentatively, if the COVID numbers are safe to do so. And this is tentatively going to be on August 28th. We are looking for this to be run at Sherwood Park at the Yonge and Eglinton area. It will be outdoors with some pizza, maybe some booths from different organizations that we work closely with, such as Gilda's and Wellspring and Pink Pearl, and really just an opportunity to meet those community partners that you work closely with. We refer often to, and really just to mingle with other AYAs in person, because we know that that has been really, really missing since the COVID pandemic has been declared. Something else to keep in mind is for patients who are already connected with the AYA program, we are going to be sending out a survey very, very soon to gain some feedback and an understanding of how we're doing as a program. We are always looking for ways to improve, to better meet your needs. And to do that, we need your help and support to guide us in the direction that we should be going. So look out for that if you are already in touch with us. And if you aren't in touch with us, but would like to give, some insight into the needs that you have as a person going through a cancer experience, we would love to hear that as well. We also have a really, really great research program that is open. It's a study called the Himalayas study, and it's an opportunity for patients who had certain types of chemotherapy that can impact heart function or chest radiation, for you to be enrolled on an exercise trial for different screening and exercises to boost your cardiac health. And if that sounds like something that you would be interested in, you're more than welcome to reach out to us via aya@UH and I will put you in touch with the research coordinator for more information and to see if you're eligible for the trial. It's a really, really exciting opportunity. We know that exercise is so important for so many reasons, especially in the survivorship phase when we're done getting those cardiotoxic medications or radiation, trying to rebuild our strength and optimize our heart health. So reach out if you would like more information on that as well. Social media. We do have an Instagram handle, and it is called AYA Program, and it's our logo in red, AYA. We would love for you to follow along to, learn about some other events that are upcoming. We like to share some events that are happening with our community partners as well. So it's a really nice way of staying in touch with the nice community and seeing what else is out there that you might be interested in. This is where we'll have information about our survey and other programs or research that's upcoming as well. So it's really good to stay in touch that way. We will also be breaking into the TikTok world very, very soon. So I will share the information via our social media, our Instagram account, for you to follow along with that. Our goal with our TikTok is to just share some more health information. We know that our generation is very, very active on social media. So we're hoping to increase awareness about the AYA specific needs and about what is happening in our program and in other community organizations as well. Another really great way to stay connected with what is upcoming is our newsletter. On our AYA program page, we actually have a website that we will share with you, and our newsletter is uploaded there once a month. But we also have an opportunity, and we are setting this up right now, for patients and participants to actively opt in to receive the newsletter via email. And it's a really, really great way of seeing, what's upcoming, our upcoming need update, any events that are shared in the community. So another way to stay up to date on what's happening in the AYA community at large. If you would like to be included in this email, please reach out to aya@uhn.ca, and I will definitely put you on the list for that as well. I think that's it, Jeremy.
Thank you so much, Marlie, for that amazing presentation and for sharing more about the AYA program at Princess Margaret and what you have going on and what you have to offer. I listed the website that Marlie was referring to. If you did want to find more information about some of the AYA resources at Princess Margaret, in the chat box there. And then for self-referrals, the contact is aya@uhn.ca. And then you can also follow them on socials, on their socials on Instagram and Twitter. And it's at, let me just double check, it's at AYA Program. And you can check them out, see what's going on Twitter and Instagram there. So thank you so much again, Marlie, for joining us today. We're going to be moving on to our next guest. We are very excited to be joined by Marie Michel. She is a project manager and therapeutic adventure facilitator for an amazing program called On the Tip of the Toes Foundation. I'm going to try my best to say that in French, and it's Sur la Pointe des Pieds. Hopefully I didn't butcher it too much, but they are an incredible group. They're doing some amazing adventures and activities for the AYA community. So without further ado, Marie Michel, thank you for joining us.
Hey everyone, my name is Marie Michel. I'm a project manager and a field facilitator for the On the Tip of the Toes Foundation. And I'm here with you this morning to present a bit about what we do, who we are, and also to present the programs that we organize every year for adolescents and young adults affected by cancer. So for those of you who don't know the foundation, our mission is to help young people affected by cancer regain their well-being through therapeutic adventures, which is our tool. So what does that mean? This is what we're going to try to explain in the next few minutes. So for the little story, the Tip of the Toes exists since 1996. It started by the initiative of an oncologist. He was working in Montreal and Toronto a bit at the same time, pediatric oncologist. And unfortunately, he had lost a young patient that night, and it was a winter storm outside. He was getting back home, and he was thinking, why did that happen? You know, that kid, he wasn't, like, his body was still physically able to overcome cancer, but his mind had shut off, right? So he was thinking about a way to give hope to his patients, and he thought, well, why not try something that, like, bring them to face a real big challenge so they regain their self-confidence and get over cancer after that. So he called someone from Chicoutimi, Quebec. He was an adventure guide. His name was François Guillot, and he asked him to organize an expedition for some of his patients. So they left in '96 in a very remote area in the Mont-Grou in Quebec with 6 patients who were in remission. And it was a very big success, so they decided to reorganize such programs after. They were dog sledding for many days, and they also, they've been snowboarding in '96 in the backcountry. That was very unusual back in the days. So after that, every year they decided to organize a new program for teenagers. At the time, it was only for teenagers. And then in 2014, we developed programs for youth that were under treatments. They were called the Getaway Expeditions. They are still called the Getaway Expeditions. We had some pilots last year in 2021. And so we are in 2022. We realized more than 60 expeditions so far, and they accepted more than close to 600 participants over the years. So we're getting experience with that, right? So the programs we offer, they're therapeutic adventure expeditions. They are meant for, we have 2 different groups of age right now. So 14 to 18 for teenagers, or 19 to 29 for young adults. And we are also thinking about extending this to 39. We are developing new programs, and it's going to come up in the next months or years. So we offer 2 different programs to both groups of age. One is the Grand Expedition. It's a long expedition from 8 to 12 days, more or less, depending on the season as well. We offer 1 program in the winter and 1 in the summer, and we alternate the groups of age every year for these programs. We accept 14 youths in remission, in this case. and the activities are varied. So we change the destination every year over Canada. We change the activity. We work with professional guides in the destination we're going to. It can be as varied as in the summer, for example, we would go river canoeing, or we could go sea kayaking or hiking. In the winter, we can go duck sitting or snowmobiling, skiing, snowshoeing. So different kinds of activities. It's generally one activity per program. Sometimes we have a mix of 2 or 3, but generally just one. It's an expedition type of thing. And the second type of program we offer is the getaway expedition. So it's a shorter program. It's meant for youth who are still under treatments. So we accept up to 10 participants. We also accept sometimes youth who are just out of their treatments, like a short time after their treatments, or sometimes with a longer, that had finished their treatment since a longer time, but who are living with some limitations, and people who couldn't maybe participate in a longer expedition. So this is all evaluated on a case by case. The program, this one always takes place in Quebec, in Gatineau, close to the Ontarian border, a place called the Poisson Blanc Reservoir. It's a voyageur canoe expedition. So we are in a big canoe with 10 people in there. It's very adapted to your rhythm, to the group's rhythm. So if someone is a bit more tired, we can take breaks, take our time, and we are 10 in the canoes, right? So if you are there and you're tired, you can take a break paddling, and your partners are gonna keep up for the to get to our destination. So 2 different kinds of program: grand expeditions for youth in remission and the getaway for youth under treatments. And behind this, there are some intervention plans. So we have some objectives, intervention objective, but we are not therapists. So we're not doing individual therapy in there. That's not the point. It's more of a support group type of thing. We are there to surround this group and assure you a great experience and make sure you are secure and safe during all of this experience. But you are doing your own experience with this group, and this is probably the strongest point of this program, of these programs. Some of the past projects we did since '96, right? There's been more than 60, as I said, but just to give you some example, in the year 2000, they've been with the group on Ellesmere Island. That's in the Arctic Circle in Nunavut, and they did some hiking over there. In 2003, they've been canoeing on the river, the Albany River in Ontario. We had the dog sledding in Yukon program in 2007. We had the sea kayaking program in Quebec in the Saguenay Fjord in 2009, a big rafting program in 2016, and so on. So many other types of program like this. And we had a few pilot projects also over the years. In 2012, we did a pilot with youth who had transplant. We've been canoeing on the Coulanges River in the province of Quebec. And last year was a bit of a strange year, right, for everyone. So we tried new things. So we thought it was a nice opportunity to try new things. We did a program with 30 to 39-year-old young adults, and this is what led us to decide to develop such program for the future as well. It was a fly fishing program in Quebec. We also did a family program with 4 families of youth 18 to 20 years old in remission. And we also did another program with women with a bit more advanced stage 4 breast cancer. That was also a fly fishing project. So we kept the idea of this 30 to 39-year-old participant programs that is going to be developed in the future. So when we're on the field, as I said, we're with a group of 10 to 14 participants, but we're also a big group surrounding, right? You're not by your own out there in the wilderness. I am there on the field with my colleague, Catherine, who's doing this job since 10 years now, so very experienced. We are both guides, but when we go on the field, we also, if we go outside the province, we hire a company who provide guides that know the territory we are visiting. And they help us with the cooking, with the itinerary. If there's any evacuation to do, they're there to guide us with that. We also have a medical team on each expedition. So on each expedition, there will be a physician, a nurse, and a psychosocial professional. So either a psychologist or a social worker. And this team, they are all volunteers, right? But they're giving their time to make sure that everybody's having a great time and they're healthy and happy in what they are living. So there's really nice resources. Most of the time, they're just chilling with the group and distributing plasters. But sometimes they can also help with medication. They can, of course, answer to any kind of medical emergency or non-emergency. And on each expedition, we also have a photographer blogger, also a volunteer. It's most of the time a journalist or a full-time photograph. And this person is there to take pictures, because there is one thing we do on our expedition, because one of our tool is nature, right? And to make sure you really dive into this experience, we ask every participant on each expeditions to give back their electronic devices at the beginning of each program, and we give them back at the end of the program. So that includes cell phones, but also tablets or watches. So you don't really know what time it is. We're there to help you with that. And the medical team is there to help you if you need to take medication at a certain time. So a big team, right, surrounding you to make sure you have a great experience. You might ask yourself at this point, so how much does this cost if I'm from Quebec and I want to go to Alberta or whatever the destination? Well, it's free. That's a good thing about our programs. We realized pretty early in our, well, at the very beginning, right? Because we were working with an oncologist who was in contact with families already. So we are fully conscious that having cancer have a financial impact on families or young adults. So we decided to make sure that our programs will always be free for participants. So that includes everything, right? From transport from home. So if you need to take a cab to get to the airport, we can cover that. We're going to cover the flight to get wherever we are leaving to. Your lodging, your meals, the guiding services, like everything that you will need, that's included, even your snacks on the road. We also have a big gear room in Chicoutimi. So we have a lot of outdoor equipment. So of course, we're not going to ask you to bring your own canoe, but we're not also going to ask you to buy a expensive Gore-Tex to get on the field with us. If you have one, good for you, you can bring it, but we also have stuff for everyone who would need anything, and we can lend you up to warm socks if you don't have some. That's fine, we have that, and it's nice and clean equipment. We have nice sponsors who help us with that, so we make sure that we offer you the best that we can equipment, so it's not old things that are stinky or whatever. So free for all programs. What are the main benefits of this, right? Why would you decide to leave home, leave your comfort, to go out 100,000 kilometers away from home with people you don't know, in a place you've never been, and doing an activity you've never done before? Why would you take away your comfort so far? Well, there's very good reasons, and this is what I'm going to tell you right now. So for me, there's three main tools we use on the expedition. The first one is the group dynamic, as I told you a bit earlier. There are many things that comes out of this, but there's four main things I think that are positive for participants. First thing is this cohesion kind of feeling that you get when you're in a group in the wilderness. We become a very close family super early on the trip. I would say as soon as you sit in the bus, when we are using a bus, right? You get this feeling that you're part of something. So this is very important. There's also some kind of hope that can come out of being with others who had a similar experience and maybe are a bit further in their experience towards cancer. So just so you know, we accept participants up for the in remission projects. We accept participants up to 5 years after their treatments normally. So sometimes you might have some participants who are just out of their treatments more or less, and some who are a bit further in their process. One other benefit of the group dynamic is information sharing. It's just an informal moment to share any kind of information that you need, to talk about the challenge you're facing. And out of this, what is very strong is the sense of universality, or the sense that I'm not alone, right? There's others feeling this. And this is very important, and this is something that is underlined by our participants most of the time after their experience with us. The other tool that we use is adventure or sport challenge, right? The different activities that we do are challenging for many participants because most of the time they've never done it. So, and that's fine. We take you the point you are at the beginning of this trip and we're bringing you as far as we can. That can lead to a certain reappropriation of physical capacities for some. It will definitely bring everybody to surpass themselves in some ways that might be physical or psychological or maybe socially as well sometimes. And participants are learning a lot of things about being in the wilderness, how to tie knots, how to put up a tarp, or to maybe put up a tent, how to pack your sleeping bag, you know, all different kinds of things. And this can bring little victories, and in the end it kind of boosts your self-confidence out of this trip. And the last element that we use during our programs is nature, right? The real contact with nature. We take away the electronics to make sure that you really dive into this and that you connect with the environment you're in and the people around. But mainly, we all know now that nature has many benefits. Here are some of the ones, some of the most common we hear. Reduction of blood pressure, sometimes cardiac rhythm. For some, it means for many, it means stress reduction as well. For some, it can accelerate post-operation remission. It can improve your mood, decrease some symptoms associated with anxiety or depression. It can also improve your interpersonal relations, or just like your general well-being can be positively affected by this, right? So we don't expect every participants to feel these benefits, but here are some benefits that you can get out of these trips and that we see on a regular basis with our participants. What's next? There's been I was talking generally of the kind of program that we do, what kind of benefits they can have on participants, but there's actually been a study on our programs a few years ago run by Linda Paquette, who's a psychologist living in Chicoutimi in the University du Québec à Chicoutimi, and she found out after regarding different cohorts of adolescents who participated in our programs that it reinforced their self-esteem, it improved their relationship with peers, it decreased or dissipated sometimes their psychological distress, and it also brought some progress with identity development and autonomy. Some examples of it. So how do we work for recruitment, right? We build our programs up 9 to 12 months before the actual expedition take place. When we have a program in mind, for example, we're set, we're going to go to Ontario, going to canoe on whatever river, we're gonna send an invitation by email to either people who are on our waiting list sometimes, who applied on a project before that they couldn't get in for any kind of reason. And we also send this to our recruiters all over the country. So we're in contact with oncologists, nurses in oncology services, social worker and psychologists who are in contact with oncology patients. And so we send them the project's details, the admission criteria. We try to be as precise as possible in this, make sure that you understand what is needed to get on this trip. Some programs are more demanding than others physically. If you go hiking, you need to be autonomous with your big backpack on your shoulders. We're going to say, for example, we're going to walk this distance per day. We're going to have to carry this kind of weight. So we try to be as precise as possible, so you or your medical team can evaluate if it's possible for you or not to take part in this trip. And as I said, you can participate in these trips up to 5 years after your treatment. So if a program is not appropriate, maybe next year there's going to be another one that's going to be more accessible for a patient. In the email, we also had a promotional poster. So for anybody working in an oncology department, it's an 11 by 17 inches poster. So you can print this easily and put it in your department so the participant can see it. Once you have all the information about it, so participants can apply themselves. You can go online on our website. There's an upcoming expedition section. From there, you can click on I want to get in application, applicate, and then you will fill a short a short form to give your name as someone interested for the program. It can also be filled by the medical team, right? Sometimes we have nurses from, I don't know, Alberta. They have patients, they talk about the program to their patients, they're interested, talk about it with the parents, maybe if they're adolescents, and then they're going to fill up the form, give the contact of the person, and we are going to contact every participant individually to get more information about the person, exchange, get to know each other a bit, and give more details about the program as well, see if the person is interested or not. And then if the person is interested, there is a longer inscription form to fill. And after this, to really confirm the participation of a young patient, we are going to send eventually a medical form to the medical team. It needs to be filled by the oncologist himself. So we don't, or herself, we don't run this through the patient. We deal directly with the medical team in the hospital. And so this is what closes the deal. After this, we generally have 1 or 2 preparatory meetings online. Most of the time now, we go over logistic details, equipment, stuff like that before. This is generally 2 to 3 weeks before departure. And then we leave. So that's about it for the process. So that's what I wanted to share with you today, this morning. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I know it's a lot of information. I totally invite you to go on our website. So tipoftoes.com, pointedepieds.com. One thing I didn't mention, maybe it's open to both French and English participants. All of our expeditions are bilingual. If you speak both languages, good for you. If you don't, it's okay. We'll help you with that. There is a few videos that you can go see on our YouTube. We have a YouTube channel, so I can provide this maybe in the link below this video if you want to see a bit more about who we are, but with more images than just my face. And if you have any question, you can contact us at any time. It will be a pleasure for us to answer any kind of question you may have. Yeah, so thank you very much for listening, and I hope we get to either collaborate with you if you are a medical professional, or bring you on an expedition and live this trip together in the future. Thank you.
2 and 1. Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you, Marie-Michel, for describing a little bit more about the On the Tip of the Toes Foundation. They sound like such exciting expeditions, and it's all free. That's one of the things that blew my mind when you mentioned it. So we'd love to get the word out there, and if anyone is interested, again, the website is tipoftoes.com. I included it in the chat so that you can check that out, and then if you want to follow their socials, I've included their Facebook and their Instagram link there. And we'll include all of this in the description section when we archive and publish this on our website or our YouTube channel tomorrow, so you can check it out. But again, thank you so much, Marie-Michel, for sharing. And again, that's On the Tip of the Toes Foundation, or sur le Pointe des Pieds. Really tried with that one. Thank you. So you can see that I have my apron on and my chef coat, because I wear 2 hats here, and we are going to start preparing for our cooking demonstration. So that starts at 12 o'clock, same link, so you can just leave this link on, and so we'll be starting in about 25 minutes or so. And Daniela and I have some really tasty recipes and some great information. The focus today is going to be around some recipe ideas that you can take on a picnic or enjoy outdoors. So we're going to be talking a little bit about food safety. We're going to be talking about some protein and protein options and how to include them in your meals. And we also have a really nice non-alcoholic refreshing mocktail recipe at the end that we are super excited to teach you. So thank you again to Marlie Smith from the AWA program at Princess Margaret, and for sharing all of the information from the AWA program, and Marie-Michel as well from On the Tip of the Toes Foundation. Stay tuned, If you would like to check out more of our recipes, you can check out our website at elixirkitchen.ca. If you haven't already, I please encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the notification bell, because that sort of lets you know when we have an upcoming class. And so our next class is in August, as I'm reaching for the date, August 18th is our next Community Connections class. So you can check that out, and you'll, again, click on the notification bell. It'll sort of give you a heads up when we have that scheduled. But that's about it from me for now. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Stay tuned for our cooking demonstration beginning shortly at 12. Thanks.